by the time I'm welcoming live, and I so that I'll be able to link him also. I want to make sure we do that before we go on. You are welcome, Prof. You are welcome, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. We are live now, and we are going to be welcoming Prof. As is with us on this wonderful evening. I want to welcome all our viewers that are watching us from wherever you are watching us right now. If you are watching us from anywhere, just let us know from where you are watching from around the globe, either from China or from Germany or from anywhere you are watching from right now, as we welcome Professor, as he will be taking us on this journey to help our children to get scholarship to be able to propel their destiny. He has so much life to pass across to us as we will go live. So Sharon, we're ready to go right now to welcome Prof. So you can bring up the slide for him. So I want to welcome everybody. I want to welcome everybody joining us at this moment. We are live both on Zoom and on Facebook. And this wonderful subject we are taking today is going to be a life-changing subject. And I want all of you to be able to share that on your various platforms because I know quite right that God has something great for us. Prof is here with us this evening. We are blessed to have God's servant, the Prof, here with us. And I believe the wisdom of God is going to speak through him to many of us today. And I believe that by the time you are enlightened out of this class, they will be able to get to the destiny God has ordained for them. It said the righteous, Psalm 112, 1-3, it says, our seed shall be mighty on the earth. Yes. It didn't say our seed shall become non-entities and beggars and be the last thought after in the society. That's not what the Bible says. It says your seed shall be mighty on the earth. But for them to be mighty, there is a responsibility that is we have for our seed to become mighty. And that is what Prof will be showing us today. That journey for your seed to become mighty. I believe quite by the time we are through in this class, the seed of greatness that God has inside our children, they are going to come alive in a very wonderful way. I want to welcome you, sir, as you take us, and I want to welcome all of us from various families that are here. I won't be able to name everybody one by one, even though I'm looking at some of our face because we are live now, and I want to appreciate every one of us and all our technical team behind the scene. Prof, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity to share.
Yes, sir.
It's a great pleasure to be able to see how the biggest gifts that we have on earth are developing.
Amen.
But some people think that the biggest asset they have is their house. Others believe that the biggest asset they have is their car. Others believe that the biggest asset they have is their position, your status in your office. But by the time you see very, very big people that have status, others believe the biggest asset they have is the education they got. And therefore they treasure it very well. By the time you know that your number one asset that you cannot go and buy from a supermarket or get delivered to you by Amazon Prime is the seed that came out of you. There's a seed that was put in you, and that seed is your biological offspring. That seed is the people you are going to hand over the baton to. Because if you are successful without a successor, you are a failure.
Yes, sir.
If you have Kenneth Hagin, then you have Kenneth Hagin Jr.
Yes, sir.
You have David, then you have Solomon.
Yes, sir.
If you have Elijah, and then you have Elisha.
Yes, sir.
If you are carrying something significant, you have to be able to hand it over to the next generation. You finish your race, and then you now hand over to Paul, handed over to Timothy. So our children, I believe, are the biggest asset we have as a generation. If we do not invest in them, they will, God forbid, teach us a lesson when we are old. The amount of investment you have in them, forward thinking and planning you invest in your child is going to be a factor that will define you for the rest of your life. Because
everybody, sorry, sir, I don't want to delay, I don't want to stop you. Please, all of us that are there, if you are watching us from anywhere you are watching us, please, I want you to share this thing that Prof is talking about. Please share it because it will be beneficial to you. Share it. I'm trying to mimic Professor now. He will say share it, because a lot of people will need this. If you're on Facebook Live, please join us there and share it, because I know it will bring a lot of blessing to many of us. I just wanted to make sure everybody that is watching us understand that. Carry on, sir.
Okay. So once you know that is your most prized possession, your investment of time, that's number one. If you invest so much in your son or daughter, it is impossible for that son or daughter to go astray. They say, train, that means program a child in the way he should go, so that when he's old, he cannot depart from him. A child in the way he should go. Well, not when they hit teens, a child. Most people have never heard about Mr. Roberts. He was a deacon. You never heard about him, but you have been impacted by the daughter one way or the other. And he invested so much in the daughter that she did not just go to the top university in the world at that time. He was only a shopkeeper. He was only a grocer. That daughter became the first female prime minister of the United Kingdom. You know who I'm talking about now. You're talking about Mrs. Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher.
I'm talking about Miss Roberts. She was Miss Margaret Roberts. When you finish here, go and Google it and find out about what I'm saying. So if you are building a tall structure, if you want to build a 3-story building, the foundation you lay will determine how high your structure is going to be. So if you want to make sure that your son or your daughter becomes an edifice that is robust enough to withstand all situations, you better lay the foundation. If you don't lay the foundation, somebody will lay a false foundation. That's what it teach a child. Mrs. Thatcher, when she was Miss Roberts, was in service on Sunday 5 times every Sunday. I'm not saying for the rest of the week. Okay, you won't hear this in mainstream media. You won't hear how much the father poured into her. You only hear about her policies. You will only hear about her days in Oxford. You only hear that she had a double degree in chemistry and in law. So you see all the things that are on the surface without knowing the foundation. If you look at Angela Merkel, the toughest woman on planet Earth now, she has identical upbringing. Her father, when you see what Angela, that's why she's able to deal with most of these things now. She's a qualified chemist. She was a research chemist, PhD, before she went into politics and dominated the landscape like nobody's ever done before. So it doesn't matter what gender you're looking at. It doesn't matter what dispensation you're looking at. The amount of time, energy, resources you put into your son or your daughter at a young age will be reflected in whatever they become.
Mm.
If you took your daughter or your son now to Munich and you stayed in Munich, do you know what will happen? After 8 months, they'll be speaking German.
Mm.
If you move them to China, after 8 months, they'll be speaking Mandarin.
Mm.
You can't do anything about it. Because you are training that child in that environment, it therefore completely wipes out your so-called genetic makeup.
Mm.
So that the cousin of your son or your daughter that comes to visit you will think that they are speaking funny. Say, why is she speaking funny? I thought she's my cousin. Because you are speaking English and they were raised in Shanghai or in Beijing and they were raised to speak Mandarin.
Mm.
Or they were raised in Munich and they were raised to speak German. So you train a child in the way he should go so that when he's old, he cannot, not that he doesn't want to, he cannot start speaking a strange language. So you express in them that language of excellence. They were born great. They are not going to be great because great things were written about them before they were born. They are not going to be average. The teacher in school will tell them, oh, it's okay, you got 50%, that's a pass mark. But if you know that they carry in them the spirit of excellence, they have to express it. And 50% is not an expression of excellence. It's an expression of mediocrity. Coming second in a race is not an expression of excellence. It's the action of somebody that's very good. But you don't have a very good, you don't have a good child. You don't have a very good child. You have a great child.
Amen.
And the way you nurture that seed will guarantee the total realization of that greatness. And that's what we're talking about. So that you don't get a scholarship. I'm not going to talk to you how to get a scholarship. No, that's not me. Because that's not you. You must get multiple scholarships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When people are struggling to get one, you have multiples that you can have and then give away. So that's my premise for speaking to you today. If you think that your son or your daughter somehow was made an average child, then it's too late. You can log out now. That's fine. If you think that the Creator made your son or your daughter average, I'm not going to argue with you. I have enough evidence against you scientifically. Scientifically, I have enough evidence against you that your son or your daughter has an IQ that is higher than that of Albert Einstein. Scientifically. Because it's been proven that for your son or your daughter to be born, this is a chance. This is a chance. If we are working out the probability, is 1 in 400 trillions. So it's an impossibility. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And this is not my study, by the way. If it's me, you say, oh, maybe exaggerated. This is independent scientific research. Please, when we finish, type it in Google. Chances of your son being born. Chances of you being alive. Type it there. 1 in 400 trillion. Not million, not billion, trillion. So if you now say, oh, it's okay, I think if we get a C is a pass. No. Whoever told you got a C is a pass, the person lied to you. That's the first lie you were told in school. You're not average. If you are not average, therefore, you cannot go to an average school. If you are not average, therefore, you cannot go to an average college. Because one thing that you don't know, when a prince is born to the throne of King David, that prince is not called a baby. When a girl is born to the throne of King David, that girl is not called a girl. It's called a princess. That's why you have Prince Charles, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, Prince Edward. They don't get to be called babies because they were divinely placed in that family to express monarchy, royalty, and excellence. So when you carry a child in the womb, that child is not, repeat, not of your own doing. It is not of your husband's doing. It has nothing to do with what you're thinking about, because I have ministers of the crown that are wealthy. They went to the top universities. They speak the best language in terms of the number of language they speak, yet they've been looking for one child. They haven't gotten one child. That's why I'm telling you, the child you have is not yours, it's a gift.
Amen.
I don't want to name, but if I name, you will know. Served in Tony Blair's cabinet, married to a beautiful lady, wealthy, known. They are still looking for a child, they couldn't get one. They had to join the queue of adoption. They did IVF, it failed. Anyway, by the way, you all know that Michelle did IVF. How many ladies in the house know that Michelle did IVF? How many are in the house? If you're in the house, you know that Michelle had to have her children via IVF. Thank you, sir. To tell you yours was a gift. That's why sometimes you behave the way I do. At Christmas, they give me a great gift. On Christmas Day, I open it. I'm very happy as a child running around. 3 days later, that gift that I said I wanted for Christmas is not lying under my bed. I was excited the first day. Second day, I was excited. Third day, I've gone off it. Some of us do that to our children. Because the first time we have the child home, everybody's excited, everybody's happy. And after a while, we just take it for granted. If you knew who your child was, if you knew who your child could become, you will know that Samson is just a joke. Because your son or your daughter was made bigger than Samson, has more talent put in them by Samson. But if you send them to the wrong environment, their greatness will be suppressed. Their genius will be suppressed. And I've seen men and women today that makes me weep, who are so talented, but they went to the wrong school. They went to the wrong college. They were told the wrong thing when they were growing up. So please choose your parents carefully. Choose your parents carefully. Choose your parents very carefully. And if you're a parent, therefore be extremely careful in terms of regurgitating what the school says about your son or your daughter. Because your school do not know your son or your daughter. They know their subject. Please, can you type that in chat? They know the chemistry teacher knows his subject called chemistry, but they don't know your son.
Yes, sir. Yes,
your
sir.
biology
yes,
teacher, they know their subject called biology, but they don't know your daughter.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
if they are saying your daughter cannot study biology, they don't know what they are talking about. They should talk about their subject. You were the person that potty trained your daughter. You were the first teacher of your daughter. So you know what your daughter can do and what your daughter cannot do. So when the school gives you something contrary to what you know, please refer to the manufacturer's manual. Please, can you do that? Write that there now. Hashtag manufacturer's manual. What did the manufacturer of this Mercedes tell you about Mercedes if it's making this noise? What did the manufacturer, the creator, tell you about a child? Tell them what the creator told you about the child, not what they told you about your child. They can't create a cell. Ask the biology teacher, when last was it that he created a cell? They can't create a cell, let alone create a tissue, let alone create an organ or create a human being. If you are a math teacher, please, thank you for your opinion about mathematics. Do not express it about my son or daughter, because mine was made for signs and wonders.
Yes.
Mine is not average. I never live in average. I can never believe in average. I can't take average. So that's what you're coming in for. You are going to discover how intelligent your child is. How intelligent your child is. Because your child is a function of his maker. Mercedes make cars and they put a sticker on it. Mercedes. If it's made by Mercedes, it's guaranteed by Mercedes. Boeing makes aeroplane and they put a sticker on it. If it's made by Boeing, it's guaranteed by Boeing. Every aeroplane made by Boeing flies. Every car made by Mercedes drives. How can you say that God made your son or your daughter and your IQ is so low, is average? Because smoking something very strong. For you to ever believe that another human being can tell you about the greatness of your son and reduce it to nothing, you don't need me. Refer to manufacturer's manual. Refer to what God said about your son or your daughter when you brought your son or your daughter home. Don't read what medicine tells you. You can. It was Ron Connelly that said, whose report would you believe? Ron Connelly said that. Whose report do you believe? Whose report would you believe? Would you believe the doctor's report? Would you believe the teacher's report? Will you believe the school's report? Or will you believe the creator's report? All of us have been fooled by this piece of paper. Somebody comes, gives you a piece of paper, it says your result. I say, oh, all this one that professor is saying, he doesn't know my family. In my family, we are not very good. We are not very good with maths. You know, I was sharing somewhere, a lady laughed at me and said, sir, it's very good as you are saying this, but in my family, the only reason I'm doing this job is because I was very bad at maths, and when I was applying to university, I had to look for the course that does not require maths. This is what the lady told me in Old Kent Road. I said, thank you, ma. Your family may have been misled into thinking that they are bad at maths. I know who makes humans, and I spoke to him before coming today. And I told him what will happen next time. And I told him what's going to happen again. And I shared with them exactly what things are going to be. I explained to them this, and I told them, if you are a member of the human race, you were created by the divine. And if you were created by the divine, there are some things that is applicable to you. It doesn't have any reference to who your grandfather is. He said, thank you, it's very motivational. But my son, I just want my son to get just a little bit. I don't want my son to get anywhere like your children. You know, your children, they are different. Just pray that I'll just help us a little bit. I'll cut a long story. All of you go on Old Kent Road, and I will give you the details today. Jude, J-U-D-E. The surname is A-L-L-I. In 9 months, that boy wrote mathematics. He became the youngest person. 2009, I'm going to show you some of the results now. So I'm not trying to encourage you. Please, I'm not trying to motivate you. If you came on this program for motivation, log out. I'm trying to inform you because you've been misinformed, and all of us have been collectively ill-informed, which is worse than ignorance. Ignorance is that you don't know at all. To be ill-informed is that what you knew has been taken from you is minus 10. Ignorance is 0. You know nothing. When you've been misinformed and ill-informed, that means it's negative. It's minus 20. Because you are so sure that you see, I have a senior brother. He went to school, he failed maths. I have a junior sister. He went to school, he failed maths. Me, when he came to my time, he failed maths. This is what the lady was telling me. He said, oh, this one you're talking about, I like it, but I know it's not possible with me. That boy was the youngest person to write the same exam with 16-year-olds when it was only 6. That boy was 6 years old. The father works in Asda as a packer. So the father is not a professor. The mother works in a nursery. The mother is not a professor because the mother already told me that in their family they fail maths. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Anyone that believes that any of these things I'm telling you is genetic, you've been ill-informed, and it's going to be a struggle for me to try and push you and refer you to the manufacturer's manual. I keep talking about it. 66 books. That is what makes the manufacturer's manual. Old Testament and New Testament. That's what I'm talking about. If you refer to how God made man and why he created man, then you will never say that mathematics is a difficult problem. Or that language, we are very bad at French. In my family, we are very bad at language. You know, people just tell me such cock and bull story. I said, how did you know you were bad? He said, look at me. Look at, you don't know me. You don't know me at all. Here is my certificate. Can you see my certificate? I was the lowest in my year. Look at it. I said, who wrote that certificate? Who wrote that certificate? He said, it's a teacher. Good. A teacher has a view about you. And everybody is entitled to have a view about you. But it is not of your business. Because this is where we are going to today. The school would have told you that your son is not good enough. You see, this book here, there is a view if you look at it from the back view. There's also a view if you look at it from the front view. If you can look at it from the side view. A view does not constitute that object. That is one view about you and mathematics. One view about you and German. One view about you and sport. It is none of your business because the person does not have a perspective.
Of the entire book.
So how can you be telling me on the basis of one view, my son is dumb? I will look at you and say, if he's dumb, then God was the person that made him dumb. Refer to manufacturer's manual. So this is why I'm telling you, without any fear of contradiction, that all of you that are logged in today, every one of you, I have not seen your son, I have not seen your daughter. I don't need to see them because I know who made them. I have already made reference to the manufacturer's manual when you send me their details. So that's how Jude Ali became the youngest GCSE pass in the United Kingdom when both parents and grandparents and great-grandparents were so-called bad at maths. He had a junior sister. The next year, the junior sister also set a record. Up till now, Guinness record. She did 40 questions. Normally, you study for 5 years. 5 years. That means year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11. After that, you write the exam. And when you write the exam, you may pass, you may fail, you may have a weak pass. But this girl, at the age of 5, after 9 months, went and wrote the exam that is tougher than the number one they write at 16. There are 20 questions per paper. Her own paper was 40 questions. 40 questions. So when I'm telling you, refer to manufacturer's manual, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Scientifically, they looked at children, babies that came out of their mother's womb, and took one neuron, one brain cell. And they wanted to see whether one brain cell does enough mathematics as the Texas Instrument. If you're a scientist here, type Texas Instrument. They are the world's largest manufacturer of chip, microchip. Texas Instruments are the world #1 on planet Earth. They make microchip. So they wanted to see the computational power of a calculator versus one neuron, one cell, of a baby that came out of the head, that came out of the birth canal. They compared one cell against the calculator. Guess who won? One cell won. So they now got 2 calculators against one cell. Multiply, one cell won. Divide, one cell won. Then subtract, one cell won. Then they now had a group of calculators. One neuron still won. Then they had a computer and a network of computers. Guess who won? One cell. One neuron from a human being was able to defeat the calculator, defeat the computer. Then they now had networks of computers. That means they connected one computer to another computer to another computer and had a network. And they raced it against one cell. Ladies and gentlemen, one cell won. This is why I'm getting annoyed at people that make comments without, first of all, finding out scientifically We'll come to the scriptural in a minute. All right? I want to deal with the science of it. So they now said, let's have a network of network, because they want to see what this one cell from the brain of a human being is equal to. The entire computing power of NASA. NASA that sends men to the moon, brings them back, calculates how many days it will take a man to travel from the Earth to Mars as 500 days, and brings them that people back. Yes. One human cell, the computing power of one human cell is bigger than that of the entire NASA computer. So how can you, so do you think I'm stupid? I know this fact. Do you think I'm stupid when you come and tell me a 16-year-old failed mathematics? When at birth, only one cell can deal with it. And that 16-year-old has 1 million cells. 1 million. So he doesn't even need 2 cells to pass mathematics. Are you listening to this?
Yes, sir.
Because I need you to be clear in the facts. So when somebody lies to you about your ability, you laugh at that person. You don't even contend with them. You go somewhere else to write the exam to prove to them that greater is he that is in you than anybody else that is talking to you. The benefit of this knowledge works wonders. So that is why I believe, and I'm still looking for one child that can work through these principles and not clean up high school mathematics at the age of 9. You don't need to be 16. If you are writing at 16, that's grandfather. 16, you should be doing your master's. Every 12-year-old, right now, every 12-year-old can go straight to Oxford and clean up a first degree. Every 12-year-old. The day I got that clarity, that revelation, that one cell alone is able to defeat the whole computational power of NASA, I knew I've been lied to all my life. I knew that they gave me information that was outdated. And I called my friends. I said, hello, you are a professor here. How come this is true? An old man called me and I said, yes. You see, the book you read in school, every year, have you noticed that there is a new edition? I said, yes. He said, that is part of it. We know in parts, and therefore, we deposit our knowledge in parts. So that is why the textbook you read in school cannot be read by your children, because if it was the 6th edition, that by now it would be in the 16th edition. So the pace of knowledge update cannot keep up with human development. That is why there's a lag between when they tell you what you can do and what you can't do. And then you believe the old edition. You are working on the old manual. I'm telling you, there is a new edition. There is a new dispensation. There is a new period that anybody that is interested in the truth must go and get. That's what you need to know. So nobody should tell you this.
So
every human being on this call today, please get this into your brain. Your school misassessed you. Get this into your brain. There's a new edition of chemistry that you will write today, you will top the class. There is a new edition of literature. You will write it today, you will top the class. The certificate you are carrying with you is expired. I got a revelation. Ask me, when did it expire? Every certificate is dated, ladies and gentlemen. When they write a certificate for you, they write it 1982 or 1972 or 1992. That date is the day the certificate expired. That was the grade you were as at that day. After that date, you could go and write that same exam again and you get a higher marks. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Some people, they write the exam the first time, they give them a grade. They don't like the grade. They go repeat the exam. They write the grade again and it goes up. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
If your IQ is fixed, if your knowledge is fixed, if your ability is fixed, why does the grade go up or down when you write it again? I mean, that just hit me. I was just asking, oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Why am I carrying the luggage that doesn't belong to me? It belongs to the person that signed it. It doesn't belong to me, my dear. If it's not consistent with the manufacturer's position. Take it out. Take it out.
Thank you, sir. With the list, with those, thank you very much, sir. With those lists that were sent, some of them wanted to know how did they take practical steps, like those in primary school. Some of them, their parents are here on the line, believing that what can they do practically, because like we did yesterday, we want to work with them to be able to know what to do, just like those that came yesterday were able to, when you finished, they were able to know what step to take, and some of them are ready to enroll their children, and now some of them also know for them to take the step they needed to take, like you said, they need about 6 weeks, and each of this work also require that they will pay. So I wanted to make sure that people that are on the line or the parents has understanding of what they need to do going from this step forward, so that we can give them specific instructions, sir.
Okay. Number one, what you would need to do is understand the potential of the people you're giving me, because I've seen some names here, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I've seen some people's intentions. I've seen their thinking as revealed by what they wrote here. I've seen some of those that are thinking of grammar school. I've seen those that are in year 6 and the different courses they are doing. The number one thing is you must know that the current assessment of your son is defective. Number one, that the estimation that they gave you about your daughter is wrong. Number two, you must know that before you leave home. Because if you don't leave it, if you don't understand that, you will come thinking that I am helping you to make a transactional increase in your son or daughter's position. It's not transactional. If I ask you now, most of you will say you want your child to top their class. Hey, I'm not in the business of your son or daughter topping their class. No. I'm not in the business of your son or daughter topping the year. No. I'm not in the business of your son or daughter topping your county or your borough. No. The minimum, on a bad day, you top the nation. On a bad day. If you are looking at saxophone, on a bad day, you play saxophone and it tops the nation. If you are looking at swimming, on a bad day, you swim and you top the nation. That's what I have seen. That's not what I teach. That's what I have experienced. In black, white, yellow, green, whatever color, provided person is made by God, Muslim, Hindu, it doesn't affect religion. It doesn't, whether you are tall or short, it doesn't affect at all. So we have a boot camp where you will come with your husband and you, or your wife and you, and your children. And then we will take you, like you wrote here, you're in year 6 or year 8, and you're thinking about applying to Oxford. If I was going to, is Royal around? Royal Ogbodo, is Royal on this call? Debbie is here. Debbie's not, that's Debbie. Debbie?
Sharon,
is Debbie on this call for?
Sharon, can you unmute their line, please?
Ogbodo, Debbie, there's Debbie on the call. There should be Debbie on the call.
Yes. Can you unmute? Yes, she's on the line.
Okay.
Now, Sharon, can you unmute their lines so that we can be able to hear them? So that they'll be able to hear, Professor can hear those that are on the line at this moment. Sharon, please unmute the line of everybody, please.
Pastor, they're unmuted. Pastor, they're unmuted.
Okay, thank you, Debbie.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to find out from you, your boy, Gabriel. Is it Gabriel?
Yeah, Gabriel. Yeah, Nation, Gabriel.
Yeah, Gabriel. What instrument does Gabriel play?
None at the moment.
Okay. Do you have a younger one than Gabriel? Because I'm seeing I'm seeing Royal.
No, Royal is older than Nation.
I know. I'm looking for somebody younger.
No.
Okay, why is Gabriel not playing any instrument? I'm just asking a casual question. Forget about seminar. Just imagine if I came to your sitting room and was having coffee and said, "Oh, where is your youngest one? Why is she not playing instrument?"
Well, at the moment, there was a time I bought them instrument to learn at home, but they spoiled it, so I didn't bother to buy again.
Oh, why did you buy them the instrument? How old was he when you bought the instrument?
As at when he was 5, but his older brothers, they were into maybe organ, piano in church, but
wow. So why did you buy that instrument? Why did you buy the instrument?
I wanted him and the other young older brother, which is Roya, to learn.
So that what?
I've been told when they were in nursery, especially the older boy, King David, that and they all went to the same nursery apart from Nation, that they are very talented in instruments. That the health teacher purposely called me as at that time that I should make sure I follow those the talent up, because in my kitchen they could use my pot to play and you could dance, all of them, so many things they were doing as at that time. But I followed the older boy a little bit, but the younger boy I couldn't follow much.
Why? I'm still asking you. Okay, it's a good thing. That head teacher, do you still have your telephone number or the name of the school?
Yeah, I know the name of the school.
Okay, you have to go and look for that head teacher.
Yeah.
When you leave here, go to Costco or Tesco or your supermarket, buy them a box of chocolates, and as soon as lockdown is over, go and meet them and give them that box of chocolate, and say, "I've been meaning to come and thank you for the advice you gave me about my children. But however, I tried persuading him, he stopped playing." All right, and then this boy, his Nation, get Nation, say, "From now on, I'm going to buy you a present each time you play an instrument for more than 5 minutes."
Okay.
Every day he wakes up, you have to make sure he plays instrument. And buy him whatever he wants.
Okay.
Did you hear that? Do you know why I'm asking you to do that?
No.
Okay, what about Royal? What instrument does Royal play?
Royal, I know he's in choir in school. Yes, guitar, sorry. He plays guitar. Because I remember.
What grade? What grade?
You mean as in the guitar?
No, yes. They go for this assessment. When they told you in school, they told you that after a while, they do one assessment or the other.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm not at home at the moment. He could tell you the grade, but I don't know. But he played this, he did a lot, and he got a lot of certificates.
Okay, I'll forgive you. Next time, when I meet you, I want to know what grade he's doing. Do you know why? He wrote there that he wants to go to a particular university. That university is very difficult to get into if you're only good in maths and science or history and literature. It's easier if you are also good in either playing an instrument or able to sing. So it is one of the gifts that every human being is given, the gift of music. So I'm just taking these cases as example. So I will walk through with Royal and persuade him to pick up his instrument again and play up to grade 8.
8, okay.
And I will take him to go and meet another person that I know played up to grade 8, that is right now in Oxford or in Cambridge, and he will spend one day with him and see with his eyes, not because of mommy said, or not because of school said, how that boy is being treated. The boy is also the same color as him, and how that boy is being treated like a prince in a top university. And he will ask that one many questions, and then he will go back to year 9 and play instruments more than anybody, because right now he's in year 8, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we will begin to lay the foundation for what will cast him out as an outstanding student. Instead of you doing the music and then getting frustrated, we will see how he does that. Okay, the younger one, is he doing verbal and non-verbal reasoning?
The borough in our borough, they're not doing it. So I've just started with him now. Trying to introduce it to him. I wasn't.
Okay, Pastor Adebo, this is another thing you're going to gain. When
Yes,
he
sir.
was 5 years old, that if you spoke to that head teacher, that same head teacher, when you buy that head teacher a present, you find out what the date of birth is. So every year you send that head teacher a birthday card. You send that head teacher a birthday card. What did I say?
I should send the head teacher a birthday card.
Every year until second coming. Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Every year thou shalt send that a birthday card every year.
Okay, sir.
Okay, do you have your own birthday party?
Yeah.
You shall also invite her to come for your birthday party every year. Every year.
Okay, sir.
Because she was working with you as a co-mother for your son. You didn't know this. She didn't need to tell you all those things she told you. She told you because she had special interest in your children. So you have to have special interest in her. What car is she driving?
Well, we are no more in that area.
I know.
But,
I know.
Car.
Okay, what car was she driving then?
Okay, as at that time, she was driving what is it called? BMW.
You go and buy a BMW, the same make as her. What football club does she support?
Come again, sir. I didn't.
What football club does she support? Does she support Arsenal, Man United, or Chelsea?
You mean the lady?
Yes.
No, I don't know.
You have to go and find out. That's your homework from today.
Okay.
Because anybody that shows interest in you, you will show interest back in that person. And the person will show more interest in you. And she will tell you more secrets than you read in any book. So you have to make friends with her. If you're having Thanksgiving in your church, you invite her. If she's having Thanksgiving in her church, you invite yourself to her church. She doesn't need to invite you. You crash it. You say, why are you coming here? You say, I know you forgot. If you remember, you would have invited me. You are my friend. Because it's more expensive for you to be told that than get crash at party. Because she has useful insight about your children. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not joking. All of the things I've said now is true. You have to draw near to her because she is interested and she has insight. Because if your son plays instruments, that boy can win £120,000 scholarship. That's a gift she gave you and you didn't know. She gave you a gift of £120,000. She gave it to you.
So looking at that, Sister Debbie, I believe Professor has told you part of the key of how to. A professor has identified the gifting in those children, and that is why he's talking about all this so that we can be able to fund them into manifestation.
Yes.
And I believe that's what Professor is trying to say to us. So that's from where we start from. But for the other ones with their names, according to the name,
all the ones I did now, this is what we're doing that weekend. The weekend we are talking about this boot camp. Every single child's potential will be identified. Their strengths will be identified, and their possible position and the university that will be looking for them. You cannot look for university. Like, sir, you know what I was saying? If this boy was if I was the godfather.
Yes, sir.
Like now, right? He's in year 4 now. When that boy was 6 years old, I would have bought them a present. That's the Bond series. The one she's starting now when he's in year 4. It would have started about 4 years ago. I would have bought her a present. If she was in my group, I would have told her what to do. So you start at a very young age, they will just go into it. Because the evil that she didn't tell you is that in her school, where that boy goes to school, They don't teach them verbal reasoning. They don't teach them non-verbal reasoning. Meanwhile, her desire is that the boy should go to St. Olaf. The second choice is that the boy should go to Dartford. Those two schools, they will test you in these two subjects. Meanwhile, these two subjects are never taught in primary school. Sir, can you explain to me, how can you go and write an exam in a subject you have not been taught? Explain to me.
It's difficult.
So I will now get her to make sure that that boy or the children, they do additional subjects outside the school that will be required for scholarship.
But sir, how can they get that kind of subject when they don't teach it in their school? How can they, is that part of what they will get when they are in the boot camp?
Well, you have two options. Is either you get the materials and work with your son or your daughter to be able to accomplish the same proficiency, or you join our waiting list, because we have a full waiting list, like you know. I hope when Corona comes back, we're able to do some things differently. You join our waiting list and we'll give you and your son and your daughter these materials and facility. You will sign a declaration. If you are in fact, you must sign a declaration that you will not take it anywhere near their school. The day you take it anywhere near their school, we sack you, period. Because we don't want to waste time.
So, sir, like the waiting list you have right now, when do you think that time that time will be that they'll be able to apply to be able to come in for that?
Once you finish this weekend boot camp, then you now get fast tracked. If anybody just wants to come in, you join the waiting list. But once you finish the weekend, you know what to do. And some of you may be able to do it at home. Not everybody will need to come. But those that will need to come, we'll see how we can fast track you, especially if you are Destiny. If I'm from Destiny, we're going to see what I'm going to work out something for you, because the people in London and all in the UK can have access to a lot of these things online as well. So you do online, or you do physical appearance, or you do it on your own. But this time, at least you know what to do. Because before this call, did Debbie know anything called verbal reasoning? Did she know anything called verbal reasoning?
She knows. Can we unmute the line? Sharon, please. Sharon, can you unmute the line, please?
Okay, she type in chat.
Okay,
did you know anything called verbal reasoing?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. When did you know?
My first son is in A levels now. There was a for grammar school. So he was taking a lesson with one of your, I don't know, one man that through him I heard about your name. So he was doing it then. He's in grammar school now. Sorry.
If it's big siblings in grammar school, when is he applying for his 11 plus?
Sorry. What he didn't get into that grammar school. He's in A levels now.
Okay, thank you. Now, so he didn't get into grammar school. How far was it from the grammar school cutoff point?
I think 5 points.
Okay. The junior sibling, what have you done differently to make sure he gets into grammar school?
You see how good you do something.
On my own, because there are a lot of home trouble with marriage situations, so I put in on my own financially. But I'm just building myself now that these two, with the help of God, I'm going to put the two in grammar school and be able to pay for the lessons.
No.
But the other two.
No. The ones in A level, why are they not doing the bond series? So you have the bond series.
I didn't know the A levels could do bond series.
No, I'm asking you, do you have the bond series?
Yeah, I have some.
Which one do you have?
I still have some, but they are not current. They are not current ones. I still have some, but they are not current ones.
Okay, this boy that you are talking about, this child you are talking about now, between you and me, he's not going to do year 6. If you do year 6, you are in trouble. Pastor, can you make a notation of this, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That boy cannot do year 6. He's going to go to grammar school for year 5.
Amen.
So you have to take your, your hair tie now.
Yes.
You have to remove your hair tie and use it to tie your waist. And you're going to fight them like a eunuch. Because the first one lost by such a narrow mark, this one is not even going to do year 6 at all. He has to write it when he's in year 5. From year 5, he goes straight to year 7. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. And we're going to get the A level to supervise him and mark it from time to time. And then if he's able to come to us, fine. Even if he's not able to come to us, the A level has to be able to do it, because the A level will also learn non-verbal reasoning, because the A level one, which university is he applying to?
The A level ones, today he will tell you he wants to go to Oxford. Tomorrow he will tell you he wants to do apprenticeship. Sure, I don't really know, but he's into computer science at the moment. That's what he's doing. He's doing economics, computer science, and business studies.
Why is he not doing maths?
I think he got 6 in maths, and he wanted to do 6.
No, he didn't get 6 in maths. He got 9 in maths. They stole the rest. So you got to recover it. Where is he? Is he home?
It's not. I'm not at home at the moment. He is.
Okay, good. I will give him £25,000. I will give him £25,000. He has to go and recover that.
Okay,
so I'm going to promise him. Listen.
You need to talk to Mr. Jack. You need to talk to Pastor Jack.
I'm not talking to Pastor Jack. I'm going to wrestle him to the ground. Listen. I deal with teenagers all the time. I was a teenager. I was very rebellious. So I will bring him down to my level, and I will tell you what I did when I was a teenager. This is fight to finish, This is not a joke. I will invite him. Wait, how many times has he gone to Cambridge?
They're taking him many times. I think they're taking him. He's on this. There's a program the school took him to that is
gifted and talented. Did he do gifted and talented?
Yes.
He's on gifted and talented. He's my boy. No problem. If he's on, please bring him.
Everybody have tried for him to come online since you have started. He's not interested. It's only Pastor Jack he listens to. I'm not a member of.
Let me see if I can get. So let me see if I can get him on the line. Let me see if I can get him on the line.
Don't worry. It is no problem at all. All we are talking now is no problem. It's no problem at all. So very still doing A level is no problem. Has he met Barack Obama?
No.
Would you like to meet Barack Obama?
Yes.
That will go. I will go. We'll give him some exam. When he gets some marks, we'll carry to go and meet Barack or Michelle. How about that?
He tried to do the maths and physics, maths again and physics, which he registered, like for extra lessons. So I don't know what happened between him and his dad. They couldn't follow him.
Don't worry. I'm very interested in this case.
Are you okay? I'm going to forward the link to you.
What is going to happen,
I want you to join the WhatsApp. I want to Zoom. I want to join the Zoom now. Okay.
Because I know we will have to have a session beyond here to be able to help.
Okay, I'll Zoom it. I'm going to send it to you now. Please come on Zoom.
Pastor, don't worry about that. Every single person. This is what the bootcamp is all about. You cannot come there without giving us the details of your son or your daughter. And from there, we work with you to be able to straighten out any places that needs ironing. So if they were in music before they drop it, we explain to them why they need to do it. We introduce them to friends that they can work with and compete with. We introduce them to mentors. We introduce them to people that is the same age as them. Don't worry about teenagers. Teenage boys, they are my best friend. I will find out which football team he supports. You don't know. Now, you are saying he shouldn't play football. He shouldn't play music. I will tell you what you say you shouldn't do. The two of us will do it together. And from there, we'll go and do our own that will get him into university.
Hallelujah.
So,
thank you.
If we have a girl, the girl likes, they brought a girl to me. They said she doesn't like anything. She just likes makeup. When she's coming to class, she forget her homework. She forget her book. But she will come with makeup, with lipstick, with eyeshadow. I said, come as you are. You must come as you are. So when you come, we agree when you finish the exam, I will buy you colored contact lenses that will make your eye look green today, yellow tomorrow. We'll agree all of that. Provided you do what I ask you to do, I will do what you want me to do. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, don't worry. Teenagers, they are my best friend. They're my best friend. Any teenager that is stubborn, bring them, go and look for the stubborn one. The easy one, they are too easy. Because when you turn the testimony around, then everybody will be able to look at Fabrice. Look at this one. Can you see this book? It's written by Fabrice. When you read his story at 13, and the trouble he was making in school, they say all he does is football. Type it, Mwamba, and type my name. You'll see the story. I'm not just, your son is not unique. There's a season and a time for rebellion in a child. You work with them and be able to turn things on his head. Nobody thought that Fabrice would be a doctor. Go and read his school report and what they wrote about him. You won't touch him with a bad pole. So don't worry. This is what I'm saying. Parenting is a collective responsibility.
There are two like that. He has a junior brother. That one at times doesn't even talk to us 2 days. He's in his room.
Good. Does he like computer games?
Yeah,
Does he like computer games?
Yeah, he loves computer games, which I've packed. That's why we are having
He's
trouble.
my friend. He's my only friend. He's my only friend. I will share with you computer game. When I get to your house, I will even sit in the sitting room. I'll go to his room. We'll play computer games together. When we finish, then we'll work together. When we finish, we'll develop computer games. We will develop. We will make, not just play. I will give it, we'll go to a place called Hackathon. We'll go there, they'll give food, we'll program, and at the end of the weekend, they'll come back. They'll be very happy.
So, Professor,
what are you saying?
I think one by one, at least is getting what you are saying right now. I think what you have said, sir, like the boot camp, that will be able to help to be able to unpack most of this thing. Like we have a lot of children there on that list.
Yes. So seriously,
and I want to say to every family on this line.
Yeah, if you're a parent here and you think your son or your daughter is a problem, please, I'm very happy. I'm very happy because that is the only reason why some of us are on planet Earth. To change. Do you think I was not a problem? When I was a teenager, do you know what myself and my brother did to our father's car? The teacher said I was autistic. They wrote it in a piece of paper. They said this boy is autistic. Oh, this is what he's going to do. He will set the school on fire one day. They put it on piece of paper and gave it to me to go and give my parents. So I'm not perturbed at all. When we meet, we are able to discuss.
All right.
Everything he likes. If he likes football, if he likes rugby, whatever he likes, not what you like. I know what you like. You want him to be successful, period. That's what you like. I know the desire of the heart of every woman. I know what they want for their son. I know that. So it's just a matter of working with him to be able to accomplish what you desire.
Okay, sir. I'm to be able to narrow things down. The boot camp you said is how many days, sir? And is there any fee to this program that if they enroll on this program is 6 weeks of working with those children? But is there any cost financially they will have to pay as a parent, sir?
Okay, the boot camp, I'll give you to the event, if I give you a link to the Eventbrite to book as an external person, because a lot of parents that have attended in the past have ended up with multiple scholarships. So if you come to the boot camp, the information we give you alone is enough for you to act on to go and get your scholarship. You don't even need us. Just open your eyes to certain tips that the schools do, the colleges do, and the institutions do will make sure that you now come out and go and do what you were doing slowly or what you were doing haphazardly in school before you go and do it better. Because you now have a reason for doing it. So that boot camp goes for 2,997. 2,997. That's the tuition alone. And I'll send you a link to the Oxford Mail that already published that. That's the boot camp. And it's Friday evening, all day Saturday, and then about 4 hours on Sunday. In that boot camp, you will find out what is it that what's the difference between a grammar school and a comprehensive school or a regular school? What's the difference between a regular school and an independent school? And what are the outcomes? You find out how do you get admissions if you want admissions? How do you get scholarship if you want scholarship? What are the multiple scholarships available? The different categories of scholarship. And how do you access it from your postcode? Because your postcode is as important as your date of birth. What do you do if your son or daughter was born in September to be able to have better standardized scores? Yes, what do you do if you have no clue whatsoever about the choice of subject for your children? Yes, how many courses, how many subjects at GCSEs will your son or your daughter write? All of this will give them to you. And the consequences of not doing them is hoping and praying and saying that you'll be lucky. No, we remove the element of luck and replace it with knowledge. Because once you know what to do, you do it like I was speaking to Debbie now. That year 4 boy or that year 4 child, in year 1, he will have started his bond. By now, he'll be midway through. That's why I'm so confident that he doesn't need to do year 6. From year 5, he will get scholarship to go to year 7. If he doesn't want to go, he can go and do year 6 as a matter of pleasure, not because of necessity. Yes. And we have students that have done that over and over again. So all day Saturday, you do work. You come with your laptop. You come with your palm top. You come with any device you have. You will do the research yourself. We'll guide you on your postcode. What are the top schools near where you live? Okay. What are the top universities that they send people to? You do this one. Okay. So if you are in Destiny Church, yes, you pay 997. You do the 2,000. Yeah, it's taken out. That is for the entire boot camp. For the entire boot camp. All the children per family. It doesn't matter if you have one child. If you want 50 children, it doesn't matter. We'll give you the knowledge that you require to be able to impact each child, and at what stage that impact is going to be much. That is now around. That is 997. That is 997 pounds. Yes. For the 3 days of the boot camp. Yeah, for 3 days. And the minimum you will get is walk away with how you can get at least the equivalent of £100,000 scholarship for your son or your daughter. So that we'll come to that. Galaxy 7 was raising their hand. Sharon, can you unmute their line, please? They wanted to ask a question. Galaxy 7 was raising their hand so that they can ask Professor Sadebi. At least you have some information right now that will help you. And that person, can you unmute everybody's line? Let that person speak so that person can answer. Yes. Hello, sir. Go ahead. Hello, yes. How are you? I'm okay, sir. Yeah, my name is Caleb. Yes. My question is, I just want to ask, you've been talking about like adult children, like the ones that are in year 3, 4, 5. But what about kids like from 2? And is there anything parent needs to be doing from now before they reach that level? Before they reach which level? Like since you've been talking about all these kids that are in schools already. Like year 3, year 4. So, but what about little children like 2? And is there anything we need to be doing as a parent? Okay. How old is your child? About 2 now. How many? 2. No, about 2 years old. Is he a boy or a girl? A boy. You are late. You should have had this seminar before the child was born. So there's a lot you are supposed to have done before the child was 12 months old. There's a special registration. When your wife was pregnant, you write it down. Date due, write it down. You go and give it to a particular school.
Okay.
When the child is born, you go and look, is it a boy or a girl? If it's a boy, you quickly send a text message to the school to say, it's come or it's a boy, oh, this is date of birth. We don't have a name yet. When we have a name, we are going to send it to you. And then they will send you a green form. So right from day one, when a prince is born, there are things you need to do. But you didn't know that because your grandmother was not a head teacher in the UK. If your grandmother was a head teacher in the UK, she would have done it on your behalf. She registered the child at birth at Eton College. This school is not going to attend until it's 13.
Okay.
David Cameron was registered at birth. Boris Johnson was registered at birth. All the big people you are talking about, people that wrote the budget, you know the budget that they wrote in Parliament?
Yes,
6 of them wrote it in the committee. 5 of them went to the same school. So right from the word go, there are things you can do right now.
Okay.
If it was my godson, I would have bought him a musical instrument, a plastic one, the one he can play with and spoil, and play with and spoil. And I'll buy him another one because I will sensitize him to all the instruments, wind instrument, string instrument. Because there's something that music does to your brain and the way your brain cells develops. So if you have a son or a daughter, there are things you must do before first year. If you miss it, there are others you can do before second year. If you miss it, there are others you must do before third year. There is
because the boy is 2-year-old now, sir.
So he has missed some. No. What I'm trying to say is that he was asking whether it's too early. This one, can you see this CD here?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What? Can you read it?
I can see it very well. Your body.
Okay, it is called Your Baby Can Learn.
Okay, your baby can learn.
Right from baby sheep, there are things that your baby can do. This is by my great friend Robert Tisler. So it's not too.
The book is Robert Tisler.
Yes, Robert Tisler. No, I'll give you the link. All the things I'm talking about, he will either present or will play his video at the boot camp.
Okay,
so
sir.
if you are pregnant, you start planning immediately, except you are sure the one you are pregnant with is not a prince.
Well,
So my simple answer, there are things you can do before you enter school. There are some things you can do when you have entered school. There are other things you can do when you finish from school. And there are things that you can do even as an adult. Right now, there are things Pastor Adebo can do right now that will guarantee him a scholarship to go and do a PhD or double PhD. So from 9 months to 9 years to 90 years, there are opportunities. It's just that it's not available in the Evening Standard, and they don't publish it in the Metro.
Okay.
So thank you very much, sir. Caleb, go ahead.
All right, sir. Yeah, you said you were saying something. You said there's some things they can do before 2 and before 3. It's not 2 yet. So
and before 4,
what?
And then before 5. If you miss the first boat, you go for the second one. Then you go for the third one, and then you go for the fourth one. But it's better you don't miss the first boat because it confers on you undue advantage, and it makes your work less. If you miss the first one, you have to run harder to catch the second one because some people are already on the first boat. So you have to catch up with them. You are playing catch up.
So now that he did not go ahead, Caleb.
Sir, but what did he call the name of that school, that college?
I just gave you one. Eating. You have multiple, depending on what your where you live, who you are, what you want your son to be. That's just one of them. That's eating.
Okay. All right, sir.
But we'll give you a list of all of them. If it's a girl, the one he needs to go for. If it's a boy, the one he needs to go to. If it's autistic, the one he needs to go to. If it's depending on the child, you match them with where they will develop the best.
Okay. The baby of brother Caleb is 2-year-old right now, if I'm right, or it's almost.
It's going to be 2 by August.
So it's a toddler.
So it's going to be 2 by August.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. Oh, glory be to God. Man, August is the best month to be born. I'll give a lecture on that later. It's the best month. Second best is July. Third best is June. Fourth best is it goes back that way.
So
congratulations.
Anyway, I think we will talk about the boot camp, what money it will be. As Caleb, thank you for your question. Sister Roslyn. Yes, Roslyn raising their hand. We will take it one by one. Debbie, we are coming back to you. Sister Roslyn, can we unmute our line? Sister Roslyn, can you speak right now?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you. Yeah, I have a question. I have 3 children. The first one is going to uni September, and the second one is going to sixth form, which is a college, and the third one is going to year 9. Year 10, I mean. So in this case now, like the one that is going to uni, what help can we give her to get scholarship? Maybe because it's, to me now, I think it's late. Maybe
to you it's late, of course. To me, it's not late. It depends on A, what she's applied for. B, did she do IB? Did she do A level?
Did
she do SAT? Did she do ACT?
No.
What did she do
school?
for huh? Hello?
What do you mean by ACT?
Then she didn't do it.
SAT.
If she did it, you will tell me. Okay, what exam is she doing, or what exam did she do?
History.
Hello?
History.
No, yes, I know she studied subject history. What was it? IB International Baccalaureate? Or was it A level?
A level.
Okay. How many A level subjects did she do?
3.
Which ones?
History.
Yes.
Politics. Sociology.
Okay. What does she want to study?
Law.
Did she do Latin when she was in year 9?
No.
Did she do Spanish?
No, French.
She did French. So
yes, sir.
So she didn't do German?
No.
Okay. So there are some things she can still do. And then is she doing any sports?
Yes.
What sport is she doing at what level?
Basketball.
Wow.
Good.
Wow.
She play with London now.
And she didn't get a scholarship?
What happened is that? No.
Excuse me? I don't want any story, yes or no. She didn't get a scholarship?
No.
And she plays basketball? Hello?
Yes, sir, she play basketball.
In basketball, there is 7.4 billion. 7.4 billion.
Yeah, they do offer her, but it's America, and they want her to study here.
So she got an American scholarship?
Yeah, but it didn't go. But I want her to study in UK.
No, listen. No. Don't tell me what you want. She got American scholarship.
He didn't take the exam because she didn't take the exam because the coach wanted her to take the exam.
Why? Because of ignorance. No, listen. Let me tell you one thing here. If anybody gives you anything, take it first with Thanksgiving. Later we discuss whether you want a black version of it, or a blue version, or a green version. I want him to take that child back to them. She must get the American scholarship, and then I will take that scholarship and use it to whip the so-called university that you want her to go. Which university do you want her to go?
She's going to Durham now.
Good. Fantastic. Glory be to God in the highest.
Yes.
So she will get an American offer. She will then go back to Durham to say, I was given a scholarship by Duke University in the USA or by Yale because of my football. However, My mother does not like Trump. My mother said, if I go to America, there are a lot of guns. They shoot, and I may die. That's why I'm coming to Durham. Durham, either you give me now, or I'll go back to go and do what my mother's own is. It's called scholarship negotiation. But she must go and get her scholarship. She deserves it. That's why they told her. They don't tell every sixth woman to come and apply for a scholarship, just in case you don't know. So get her talent expressed maximally. She must go and get the American one. That's why I keep saying it's not too late. Okay, is she doing critical thinking in A level?
Critical thinking, no.
Is she doing general studies?
General study, yes. You are doing general study.
Good. So that general study, we recycle it. It will be her SAT. And when the American universities see it, they will know the requirement for, yes, critical thinking, general studies, SAT, right? Yeah, because she did sociology, economics. So that's easy. But it's not going to be the way you want it. Did you hear the wisdom I'm telling you now?
Yes, sir.
She must write Durham to say, I have been nominated for an American scholarship, and I play this and I do that. And Durham will write that for you. My daughter is on the advisory board of the University of Durham. If you go to University of Durham and type my name, there is a scholarship endowed to the Imafidon at University of Durham. You didn't know that, did you?
No, sir.
Okay, so I don't hate Durham. I'm not telling you not to go to Durham. Durham is a great place. Did she apply to Oxford or Cambridge?
No.
Why?
I don't want to force her to apply for it.
No, listen, if you are running for Olympics, you don't force yourself to get gold. You just apply. They can either say yes or no. And then you have right to say yes or no. If you told me that she applied to Oxford now and she turned it down, and you told them in Durham that she applied to Oxford and she turned it down, I know what Durham will do to you in terms of scholarship. Because they ask you to supply additional information after making your original application.
So in
they
Durham,
know
she can get scholarship for Durham if she has to go there.
Multiple, many.
That is because of her present state right now.
Because of the fact that she was invited and scouted to come to America on a scholarship.
Does she still have those documents, Staros?
Yes.
Don't worry. Even if she doesn't have it, we'll call the people where she's doing her training. I'll call her coach. That's very easy. Don't worry about that. The exam they were going to ask her to write, they would have paid for the exam. And you didn't know because you don't have a big brother that is in the system, and the godfather is not one old retired professor that goes through this. They would have taken her through this. If you can get a place in Durham, you can get a place in Oxford or Cambridge because the requirements are essentially the same.
Okay.
So the girl is a bright girl. The girl is athletic, but the mother doesn't have what do you call it now? A family friend or family connection that is in this thing. That's the only mistake she made. That's not a problem. Can you tell me another problem, a really big problem?
She plays piano and play trumpet.
The same girl?
Yes, sir.
Pastor?
Yes, sir.
Can you take her from the mother? She will stay with you until she's going to her husband's house.
I agree, sir.
Did you hear that? When she is there to do marriage, then the mother will come and see her again.
I agree with you, sir. I'm in agreement, sir.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. There's a spare room in pastor's house. There is towel. There is everything there. Toothbrush, toothpaste is there already.
I agree, sir. You are all correct, sir.
Did she put in her UCAS phone that she plays instruments?
Yes, sir.
So which musical scholarship did she apply for?
Yeah, she sing because it's among the group that won gospel choir for the year.
What scholarship did they apply for?
Which one? For the Durham?
No, for music. Yeah, music or instrumental.
No, we didn't apply for any scholarship.
Why didn't she?
We didn't know.
I will call police on you. I'll call police on you. It's a criminal offense for you to have a gift and destroy that gift or undermine that gift. It's criminal.
She doesn't know, sir.
I didn't know.
I know. Ignorance is not taken as a in law. Ignorance.
I think, sir, maybe you give us an idea of when the boot camp can be, because there's so much we're unpacking in this season with these children and the parents. If we can have maybe an idea of when the boot camp can be like, so that, because I can see a lot of Debbie still has some questions she's going to ask. We're going to give you that room. Sharon has some questions. If you have questions, please, you are able to show with your type the place of your hand so that we can know, because if we don't time this thing, we'll be at it tomorrow. So everybody want to ask questions now, and I want to make sure that because Sadebi will ask a question, Sharon ask a question, and Rose, are you through with your question?
No, sir. The second one is going to cease from now. What help can we give? What can we do for her?
You already know the question I'm going to ask you.
Sir.
You know the question I ask you now. The one that is going to sixth form, what subject is she going to do?
Economics, art, and maths.
Okay. Why is she not doing further maths?
I don't know.
Okay. What does she want to study, and where does she want to study it?
Architecture.
Good. So why is she not doing further maths? That's easy. And which university is she thinking of applying to?
Cambridge.
Good. Why Cambridge?
Because that is the top university, one of the best universities that has the architecture.
Okay, my own answer is different. Is she as musical as her sister?
Yeah, she plays piano and sing.
Okay, what grade is her piano?
Grade 2.
Grade 2, right?
Yes, sir.
When did she do her graded exam in piano? Okay, her voice, what is her voice? Is it soprano, mezzo soprano, alto?
Alto.
Alto.
Yeah.
What grade is her singing?
It didn't take grade.
Okay. Why did you ask her to do a grade in piano?
Why did I ask her to do grade in piano?
Yes.
It's the school that asked her to do grade in piano.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Where is the teacher that asked her to go and do grade?
It's in the school that she attends.
Okay, you need to go and buy chocolate and flour. When Corona finished like this, you have to carry flour, you have to carry chocolate, you have to go and thank the teacher that asked her to do grade. Say you've been meaning to come and say thank you, you forgot. Are you listening? And when you get there, you just cut sis to say, this is the gift, little gift I want to use in thanking you for what you did. And then you go away. 2 weeks later, you send an email of thank you. And 3 weeks later, you send a third email to say you want your daughter to skip 2 grades and go and do grade 4 or 5.
She's on that stage.
And all the school fees she's supposed to pay in Cambridge will be refunded onto you. So don't make the mistake you made with the first one.
Okay.
She will skip now. You know the one she did before was sequential. Now she will skip. Because your children are more talented than you can give credit for.
Mm.
Somebody that has gold, he thinks it's gold plated. You know, some things are gold, others are gold plated, right?
Mm.
The gold plated one is shiny. You will think is the real one. Meanwhile, the real gold is here.
Mm.
So God gave you gifts. You have to say sorry. If pastor, anytime you go for service, pastor say, who has prayers? Please put up your 2 hands.
We are going to start that prayer meeting, sir.
So no, this is different. Who needs prayer? Don't put up your 2 hands and run forward. And if you say, what's your prayer point? Say that God should open your eyes to see the difference between gold and gold plated. That's all you need.
Oh my God. So
Okay,
is that all your question?
So the last one is the one that's going to year 10. He played
Which school?
St. Thomas Apostles.
I forgive you. He's going to year 10.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What instrument does he play?
Trombone.
Okay.
And sing.
Which other instrument does he play?
Bass guitar and sing.
Okay. Which other instrument?
That is only what he does.
That's a rumor. That's what you told me. That is a rumor.
It's
he
not
plays
rumor.
more instrument than that. You don't know. So he will come for audition. We'll find out all the instruments he plays. And November the 10th, November the 11th, and November the 12th, yourself and him and Pastor, we are coming to a place in Chelsea. It's a close place. We're going to meet the head of top schools, 200 of the top schools in the whole of Europe. It's a secret location in Chelsea.
That's November 10.
Yes. Put it down. I'm going to remind you later. You are coming
anyway. 10th of November.
Yes. Whether there's corona or no corona, doesn't matter. This is independent corona.
Corona don't die, finish, sir.
Okay.
Corona don't die.
I know. So everybody, did you hear this?
Yes.
So from there we'll see. And so what subject is she doing? Or is it he or she?
He.
Okay, what subject is he doing?
Music, maths, geography, English, and Italian, science.
Oh, he's doing Italiano?
Yes, sir.
Ciao. That's great. So why is he doing Italiano?
Because he's good at it, and every language, I'm calling them to pick a language to speak other languages.
Why?
Why I ask them to choose it? Because it will help them. Because, for example, now you go to some places in the hospital or in the shop or any organization, some of them don't, some clients don't speak English.
Yes, that's good. That's part of the reason. Does he speak German as well?
No.
Does the school do German?
Yeah.
If I tempt him with a brand new mobile phone and a brand new laptop every year for the next 5 years, will he consider speaking German?
He will.
Good. So deal done. So his motto is multilingual, he's musical, and then we'll look for any sporting activity. Does he do any sports?
He sang. He sang vocal.
Okay, and music, and sports?
He doesn't do any sport at the moment.
When the sister is playing basketball, what does he do?
He do music, he doesn't do sport. That is it.
No, the two of them, they are not mutually exclusive. The sister did music and sports.
Yes.
And so why is he not doing his own?
The second sister, the second one do sport.
No, I'm talking about the boy now, madam. I'm taking him somewhere. I need to be able to tell those people how good my son is.
Yeah, it's not doing any sport at the moment.
Okay, he has to choose one team sport, one solo sport.
What sport? Okay.
And I will, don't worry, don't ask him. I will incentivize him. That means I will pay him to play the sport, because I know that no matter the amount of money I'm paying him, it's nothing compared to the scholarship he's going to get. Is that a good deal?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
so
fine.
I think what we are going to do, sir, Debbie will ask a question so that we can round up, because I believe that we have to have another session to be able to deal with all because the more you speak, the more some of them are having questions. We have to do coronavirus as checkout is load out of the app, out of the hotel where he entered. He's leaving this country right now. So things are coming back to normal. So the boot camp you are talking about, sir, around what month do you think that may be?
It's likely going to be in the last weekend of June or early July, but I'll send you the schedule based on the number of people that register. Okay,
so anybody that has to be in that boot camp, we have to register that they want to register for the boot camp.
Yes.
Now, they register. When they register with us, then we give you the list of families
that
So everyone that will want to be in the boot camp, please you write on the chat, on the group chat, you are interested, or you send me on your phone a text message, because I need to compile and give it to Prof. Then we can take to another level. But before we go into that, finally, because we need to round up this class, Debbie, what's your question, please?
Sir, my question is that what do you do with the situation that you like my children, they are quite well in academics, they they are a bit talented by the grace of God, but their dad is the kind that would say, face your study, don't do any sports, don't do this. So how do we help in that area? And I think King is online now. King David is online, my first son. I think so. So
okay.
That is why I said, if you are coming for the boot camp, you have to come with your husband or you have to come with your wife. Because if your husband sees
those that doesn't stay with a husband, those that are single parent, what do they do? Because I'm a single parent at the moment.
Very easy. If the other parent is still alive, we have to contact them because they still have what is called parental discretion. So if I put in your son, this has happened practically. When you put in a child because the mother came, the father writes to the school and conflicts or contradicts with me, you're wasting my time. Because what I'm doing here is not economic. That means the boot camp is not economic to me. That means I'm wasting my time if I spend my time on the boot camp. What pays me is the result that comes. So if there is any conflict between the father and the mother, the son or the children or the daughter will already have mixed messages, and that will dilute the results I'm going to get from that son or that daughter. So I'll tell you right from the word go how limited that is going to be. And so you are likely going to be in the second category of payment, which is just for I think 595. For England is 595. So you come, you sit at the back, you will listen to everything we are doing, we'll give you the materials, but you will not be part of the interactive session. Because I already know of families who lost out $90,000 every year for 4 years for a boy that won multiple scholarships to go to America. Because the father then went and sabotaged, and went and not fighting, sabotage the future of the boy. So I'm too busy for that. If the person is dead, it's a different thing. If it's a widow or widower, it's very easy. You're not going to get somebody that will come and spend weekend with you and say, why are you applying to that university? Don't apply to this. Apply to the one that is nearest to your house. You go from home and you will not need to pay for anything. So anyone that's looking at now, then that's a separate issue. It's no longer educational, it's marital. Because I've suffered sabotage, and I really think that if you don't make up your mind what to do with your relationship, it is going to disproportionately affect the outcome of that child's success in life. So I'm prepared to speak to the father and speak to the mother independently and persuade them for the interest of the child to come down. Okay. But if your child is a parliamentarian, you don't need special visitors phone to get there. You walk in as a father of a parliamentarian. If you are the father of a son in prison, God forbid, you also go into prison. So the outcome of the child affects you.
Both of them.
So you have to just mend your fences and close your eyes on this issue in the interest of destiny of the child.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I think we will deal with that on a more clearer way. Everyone that have the interest, Pastor Jack asked a question. You can hear me on mute his line. I think we want to make sure we close this session for 9 because we've been on the line now for 2 hours. We didn't plan for this. So we didn't plan for this kind of thing. But I'm delighted that everybody's getting an answer. That's why we are trying to do.
Good evening, Professor.
Yes.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. I have two daughters. One in year 11 going to year 12. one in year 12, going to year 13, and the other one is in year 6. She's going to St. Saviour's and St. Olives in New Kent Road.
I know.
Yes. So my question is fast tracking both of them. The senior one is studying ICT. She wants to study artificial intelligence and robotics.
Where is she doing her A-level?
Sir?
Where do you say she's doing her A-level?
She's doing her A-levels in Shooters Hill. Shooters Hill. She's doing her A-levels in Shooters Hill. Shooters Hill College.
Okay.
And then the junior one is she's gotten into St. Olives, and she's into sports. She does athletics, swimming, football, and gymnastics.
So she can't go to St. Olave's on New Kent Road. She has to do another exam. If she's going there, she's just docking there. She can't stay there.
Why did you say that?
And the ones that are doing A-level will tell you what additional exams they'll need to do to be able to make their application competitive to top universities. Artificial intelligence, if you want to read it in one of the top schools, again, we work with only Ivy League schools. If you want to go to a mediocre school, like I told you at the beginning, I'm very reluctant to even pass any comments because you are downgrading. If you're meeting me, it's because you're upgrading. So I will have to see how many A-levels she's doing now. If it's not enough, she will include the number of A-levels. She will increase the number of A-levels and be able to make a competitive application.
Okay.
The one starting A-level, I need to find out how many subjects she's doing and which subjects she's doing and which enrichment subjects she's doing.
Okay.
So all of this, like I said, will be discussed at the boot camp because they are going to go into groups. They'll be meeting current undergraduate students. That means people that went through this boot camp 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and they will be providing what is also called mentorship. That means if you have a big brother, he will tell you, the way he will talk to you is different from if your father is talking to you or your teacher is talking to you. So they will go on special programs, spend 1 week at a time or 1 day at a time at an elite university and observe what is happening there. And they'll be able to compare that with the lies that they've been told in their schools about these universities. And they will reconcile it and say, oh, we didn't know that you could go X, Y, and Z to Imperial. Like you, all of you in London will tie you up, you bring you to Imperial College, you spend a whole weekend there, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By the time your son comes home, he'll be a rocket scientist because he will have interacted with one of the best minds on the planet. If you follow me on Facebook, how many of you are on Facebook? Can you put up your hand? Put up your hand, please, if you're on Facebook. Now, if you have an account on Facebook that is active. 1, 2, 3. Are you sure? Are you sure? The rest of you don't have Facebook account?
Well,
I'm surprised. Anyway, if you don't have Facebook account, I can't help you. I can't help you at all. All right? Next time they're asking for prayer and fasting, go and meet Pastor. He will tell you what is the importance of social media, what is the meaning of new tools, new techniques, and new dispensation, because he's using it aggressively every single day. So if you are part of his club, you follow your leader. You can't stay with Abraham and not behave like Lot. So if you are with Abraham, you have to behave like Lot. I was going to tell you the link available for you to help your girl or your boy understand technology that Imperial College, we give all our students every year, is only available on Facebook.
okay.
So if you think my Facebook page tells you what I ate yesterday, the football team I support, you're wasting your time. My Facebook reflects what I teach and how I teach it. So if you're not on Facebook, make sure you talk to Pastor. You are in safe hands. He will educate you on that. How many of you are on LinkedIn? LinkedIn, put up your hand. Same people. Or is your hand stuck in the air? How many of you are on Twitter? Good. Now, there are things that are available only on LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, you can't get it. Universities have their own alumni group on LinkedIn. They are not because of you going to come down to your level and be on what planet are you? If you're not on social media, you're on a different planet. We have to go in there and clean it up. So I'll share the links with you. I'll put posts there that will educate you and inform you so that you can take decisions that will help your career.
We'll be able to unpack a lot of these things for those that register for the boot camp. Okay. So that because we can't do all these things on this platform. Pastor, are you through? Because some other people are having questions. Now, we have Brother Wale. Brother Wale is raising up his hand. Galaxy Minister Wonder and Galaxy S7. So, Brother Wale, can you come on, please? What's your question? Please unmute your line. Tony Wale.
I wasn't going to ask any question. I only raised up my hand when the prof asked about who is on Facebook or not.
Okay. Good. That's okay. Then if you are not asking any question, Minister Wonder, any question? I saw your hand.
No.
Okay. No. Galaxy S7 Edge. Okay. Now unmute the line of Galaxy S7S, please.
No.
Okay, good. So what we are going to do, because the thing that Prof has said has had a lot of interest. If anybody has any question, because we have to round up this broadcast now. I believe everybody has gotten something, irrespective of your age group, what you want to do. And it's difficult to be able to deal with every inquiry on this line. It will be extremely difficult. So what I want to do right now is to find out how many people are we ready to go for the boot camp. Going to be 3 days. Then all this can be trashed out there because it requires registration and it requires people to pay. So you put your name down. I'll forward it to the prof. And then you let you know when it will be. They say it's maybe end of July or whatever it is, because we can't do all this thing in 2 hours of Facebook Live. And if you are watching us on Facebook, wherever you are, you can send your information wherever you are watching from. Yesterday, Prof dealt with those in America, those in North America, how to assess things that are in that place. Is dealing with the one that are in the UK right now. And for the boot camp, those of us that are interested, you test it to my phone. Test your interest to my phone, because I will have to forward it to Professor. Then those that are registering for the boot camp, then they will take it on from there with them. So that those that know they have the interest, they will go to the next phase. To be able to help us to be able to make progress in addressing all this, because we have to round up this class right now. And then if any other person that has questions, you can, because when we close this Zoom and Facebook Live program, because we are live on Facebook, that's the reason why I put it on Facebook, because if we shut down Zoom right now, all the conversation and everything that you have on the chat will go, but on the Facebook it remains there. So I want to make sure that we're having that done. Sharon, you have a question before we go. Sharon.
Yes, Pastor. My question to Professor was 2 questions. The first question is the boot camp, is there an age limit for the boot camp? And the second question is, how or where do I get the information to work on my PhD? I have double master's and a bachelor's.
Okay, the boot camp has no age limit because learning is a progressive thing. You find out that a lot of us right now think we cannot learn a new language. For instance, I'm just taking this as an example. When you come to the boot camp, you will discover that you were born with the ability to understand and speak at least 15 mutually exclusive languages. Mutually exclusive.
Okay.
The schools are barred from telling you that because they'll say you get confused after speaking 2 languages, right? You will speak with somebody that spoke 6 languages before she left elementary school. And then that begins to deconstruct what you learned in school about languages. So you will get the opportunity to learn skills, get new knowledge, and be able to apply them in whatever discipline you want to. But, let me say this, but if you have a child, the child will still benefit. If you have a niece or anybody in your world, it will still benefit. Then the second bit of it, the process of getting a scholarship is a process of getting a scholarship. There are some fundamentals that is applicable whether you're applying for a bachelor's, you're applying for a master's, or you're applying for a PhD. The fundamentals are essentially the same. You're looking at competition and how to outpace your competition all the time. So it doesn't matter. If you're applying to a PhD, we'll tell you what are the PhD funding available. Number one, find out why PhD? Why do you have to do a PhD? Because I have students that I'm personally supervising at different institutions and have PhD students that I supervised before now. So I'll give you the context, what PhD is and what PhD isn't.
Okay.
What are the benefits? What are the disadvantages of doing a PhD? And then where do you want to take your PhD to? So we'll give you that. So we'll give you guidance that you won't read from textbooks, and therefore find out where is the best place for you to do your PhD. If you're doing a PhD in political science, it's different from if you're doing in biology. And therefore, what are the funding? Insane amount of funding. You won't believe it. It's a mountain of funding available depending on what you want to study, one, depending on your gender. There are gender-specific ones. There are some areas where there are no women at all. So the governments, the institutions are looking for more diversity. They want more women, for instance, in technology. I'm just giving a quick example. So depending on what your desire and your interests are, you can be guided or given the information or be assisted to do your research in that area. 1. 2, when you start your PhD, a smart person can complete their PhD in 1 year. Others, 9 years later, they are still writing their PhD.
1 year?
So you get the tools. Every single thing is knowledge dependent. We live in a knowledge economy. I wish people can stop saying that thing. The scripture says, my people are discord because of knowledge. No! Reality tells us. Reality is no longer a memory verse. Before, it was a memory verse. You have to repeat it, memorize it, and say it, and confess it. Repeat it, confess. No. Today, you see it with your eyes. Why ignorance leaves blisters. Ignorance is not bliss. It leaves damage. It damages your bank account. It damages your health. It damages your professional account. It's the biggest evil on planet Earth, ignorance.
I think we have to round it up here because our time is gone.
Yeah, I know.
Because Professor, because there's so much that everybody is trying to draw out of you right now. And so for those that ask the boot camp, you know you want to go there, you drop your name, I forward it to Prof, because you can see from even when you are pregnant till you are 25, Prof said, even he said once you're even 90. From 9 months to 90, you see an opportunity. Nobody should say I'm too old to learn. You are not too old to learn. It's part of learning. It's part of the knowledge you are talking about. You are never old to learn. I have 2 degrees right now as a pastor. With all my busy schedule, I have 2 degrees. So if I'm looking at myself and how busy I am, I won't go to university. But the Lord said to me, go to university and take another 2nd degree. And I say, why should I go? I mean, what am I looking for? He told me, go there. And I obeyed and went. And I've seen all doors that has opened as a result of that right now. What I'm saying to you, it's never late. I am busy than most of you, and I still went to uni. So I believe quite that there's nobody that cannot learn. And that is why we are opening up this platform for those that are hearing us live and those that will come and hear this message later. There's a boot camp that Prof is talking about, because we can unpack, because they will deal with every family per each family, one family at a go, depending on which child. It will be one by one at that boot camp for 3 days. It said to be in July, either last weekend in July, maybe as a proposed time, but from July beginning, will let us know. But it starts with how many families are interested. Send your stuff, I'll forward it to Professor, then we'll take it on from there. And he has made it clear that it will be, the cost for that class is £997 pounds, £997 pounds, if I'm right. And then, sir, is there any provision for part payment? Is there any provision for payment plan? Somebody asked like yesterday.
If you leave a deposit before June now, between now and June, if you leave a deposit, you will be on our list. That means we'll send you emails about events and activities and other things that are happening now that are impacting your son or daughter's development or every learner's development that you don't know of. I hope tonight has been a little bit informative.
Yes,
but
sir.
This time you will be told where I'm speaking. If I'm speaking on anything, you'll be given opportunity to listen to it. Until when you pay, do your final payment, then you can attend. You can start off by making part payment now.
How much
and
is
then come
that,
back again and make another monthly part payment. But you don't attend until you clear your backlog. But between now and then, because you indicated interest, you will be on our hot list. And
so
we'll give
how much is the part payment, sir?
You can leave a part payment of as little as £100.
Minimum.
All right? Yes, minimum £100 to be able to secure your place. And then in the process, the information you will receive alone will make the £100 look, I mean, it's silly money. Because the value of information you will get in letting you know of specific activities and events. What is the deadline that you may miss if you don't apply now? Even in year 5, when do you apply? I mean, I'm sorry to drag this on. The application cycle is about 13 months. 13 months. So if you want to join in, so and some of you will find out, sadly, that the number one killer for application is not ability, is people not meeting the deadline. I wish you can write that down. The number one reason why people don't get scholarship is they don't even know where the deadline is. So we send you letter or we send you email, we put you on our mailing list, and we send you email. If you have a child at this age, please click on this and register now, because it's better you register early and withdraw than want to come and register late. They'll say it's full, even when there is still spaces. So we keep on our list.
Can we have? Is it possible to have that, maybe that thing in a write-up for them so everybody can read it? So I post it to our people, and those on Facebook that want that information, you type your comment or you send message to us, we follow to Professor. Those to have something write up for them, everybody can read it and make their decisions, because it's going to be a one-on-one to each family.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
I think every family will be able to make their decisions, and they will know how to, like, if I'm interested, write to this email, so that they will receive their interest in writing, and they not go through whatever they have to go through. So I think we'll want to round up here, or else we'll do all night here today.
Pastor, can I just tell Professor that I send you a message in on the chat?
You know,
Professor Chris? I just want to let them know that I send them a private message in the chat.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. I saw that now. I saw that. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
So any other thing that anybody want to say can be in the writing, we'll send it. But however, I want to thank every one of us that has come on this line. and those who watching us on Facebook. Many people are trying to send message on Facebook on boot camp and all those stuff. I think they will get more information when we come up next. And so, but meanwhile, I want to appreciate Prof for this life-changing information. Many people don't know until you said it now that before the moment you are pregnant, the moment you say you miss your period, work starts. Many people are not aware of that. Thank you for letting us know today. From the time you are pregnant, there are things that you need to know that if you know will help you. So we will try to, Professor is here. Let me know, send me your text messages, because when we close this Zoom right now, there won't be a way to be able to retrieve all the information. That is one way. When we close the Facebook, we may not see you, but send me a text message. And if you are watching me live on Facebook, wherever you are watching from, and I love what they tell you about Facebook. Facebook means face your book. That is what it is. It means face your book. What a good tool we are using now to be able to face their book. And many, on the behalf of everyone on this line, sir, we want to appreciate you on behalf of Destiny Church and everyone that is watching you across the globe. We want to thank you immensely for making yourself available to educate us, to be able to learn more. And that is why tomorrow we are all meeting at the prayer meeting on Friday by 11, by 7 p.m. And one of the things we are doing is praying for our children, to pray for our children's destiny. We are doing that tomorrow. Join us on Zoom, and we'll put it on the platform on Zoom and on Facebook. I'll be with you from 8 p.m. Prayer for the destiny of your children. You can never invest too much. Our parents invest into it. That's why we're responsible today. So our investment to our children is our investment to our future. So join us, Destiny Church, our prayer meeting tomorrow, 7 p.m. on Zoom and 8 p.m. Facebook Live. Sharon, go ahead.
Yes, Pastor, do you want me? I can put your email address on Facebook.
Go ahead.
Okay.
But what you put there, put the email address you put there is info at Destiny Church Nations. Info.
Yes.
Info at Destiny Church Nations.org. Info at Destiny Church Nations.org. So that any information or question that comes into that place, we send this straight to Professor. Let them send it to the church email, info at destinychurchnations.org. I believe everybody got something in this class. Everybody got something very, very great tonight about our children. And I believe that God will help us to accomplish great things with our kids in Jesus' mighty name. Pastor, what's up?
He's just saying thumbs up, that's all. You want me to play?
Okay.
You want me to leave the screen so people can go and scroll through for a minute in the chat or whatever if they want to write, and then I will leave the music on.
Okay, but I need to close this.
Oh, with prayer.
I need to close this session. Before you play, let's close it.
So if you thank you for joining us on Facebook Live, and those of you on Instagram, if you keen on the boot camp, or because you were not part of the Zoom, so you didn't get the documentation. If you want the slides that we used or the handouts that we gave out, please, I'm very, very delighted to be able to help you and make that available to you. And the special, I'll ask for permission and see what is going to come to. But I know that normally, if you're going to get this on a commercial level, you'll be making real payments for that, at least, at the very least, hundreds of pounds. But I'm going to make sure that is available to you for being with us, eavesdropping,
Thank you, sir.
Being patient with us. It will not exceed $12.99. So the documentation, the slides that we have here, because you didn't participate in the Zoom, so you didn't see all the slides. In fact, you didn't see slide. Did you see slide?
We didn't do slide today.
So if you key on the slide,
yesterday it was
that we use
yesterday
for
with
the
this slide.
Zoom group or the additional information, the links on the website, type in now slides. Type in that you want the slide. If you type in that you want the slides, I will give you the code, and then you go to Eventbrite and get your discounted copy of the slides, because you had to pay to be able to have access to all the other materials. So type in the slide, SLIDES. Type in slide.
Is that payment for that?
Slides. Now type in slides. Make sure that
Sharon, please, can you unmute Professor, please?
He's not muted. Professor's not muted.
Yes.
He was unmuted.
Yes. Okay.
Is there any? Are they paying? You are talking about the slide and the payment? Is there anything like that? I don't want to find out.
You already have it. People that are on the Zoom already have access to this.
Because we didn't use any slide today. It was only yesterday.
Where is Anna?
I have to find out. She should be there somewhere here.
Okay, if that's the case, I will make sure that you have it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll make sure that you have it, so that anyone that was on this call whose partner or husband did not come or wife did not come has access to essentially what we discussed today.
Okay, sir.
It's like a handout.
It's okay, sir. I appreciate, sir.
Okay.
Is that the slide that Sister Anna used yesterday?
Yes, some of it from there, some of it from the one I was going to share. She had some. I updated some. I was going to show them yesterday, so I can give everybody something to take home to know essentially what they are letting themselves into. Okay,
so you send that to me.
Yes.
It's okay. We appreciate, sir, for that. So I want to thank all our backroom technical team. Lady Sharon, thank you for a great job. Well done. Thank you. I want to celebrate Prof for strength that God is going to give you as you pursue the unleashing of the next Daniel generation. As you are pursuing, unveiling the veil that cover giants that are not known they are giants, releasing greatness in many children, so that the destiny that God has ordained for them, that destiny is realized. We appreciate you very much, sir. And on the behalf of everybody on the Facebook and on Zoom, we want to say thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. And we'll let everybody know our next meeting on this light. Everybody interested in boot camp, please test your name, test your details. I'll forward it to Prof. We'll take it on from there. God bless you all. Have a very wonderful evening. Lord, we pray for everybody. Let your rest over every family. Let your purpose be fulfilled. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. So see everybody. See you tomorrow, 7 p.m. on this same Zoom, 7 p.m. See all of you tomorrow. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, yes.
Pastor, I will send you a copy of the chat.
Okay.
I saved the file, so I'll send you the completed chat.
Okay. Okay,
All right.
thank you. Thank you.